Hello friends, welcome to my channel One Tech Stop. So in today's video we will see how to configure a Windows 11 operating system in VirtualBox and how we can join our client machine to our domain controller. So in my previous video we have already seen how to configure Active Directory, and we have also configured Active Directory domain services role. So in today's video, before we move further, let's check what are the prerequisites set by Microsoft in order to install a Windows 11 operating system. So these are the list of all the minimum requirements set by Microsoft in order to install Windows 11. Those are like a processor this much, and RAM 4 GB, storage minimum 64 GB, system firmware, graphic card, and TPM. This trusted platform module TPM version 2.0 is a new requirement set by Microsoft. This by default is disabled from the BIOS boot manager. So in order to enable this one, you have to go to the BIOS boot manager, and from there you can enable this option. So in our scenario, we need some options to be enabled, but unfortunately in VirtualBox these we cannot set up. So we have to go through some workarounds. In order to go to the workarounds, let's see what are the workarounds available. Sorry. So these are the workaround we need to do. So we need to create some registry values. We need to create some keys in order to set up our Windows 11 operating system in VirtualBox. So now let's go directly to our VirtualBox. So let's click on new. Let's create a new client machine, and I will keep the name as lab client 01, and the type as Microsoft, and version I will select as Windows 11 64-bit. Click on next. So by default it is 4 GB. I will keep the same. Go with the minimum requirement. Next. Create a virtual hard disk now. Next. Create. Next. Next. And I will increase the capacity storage to 100 GB. Create. Now our machine is ready to boot up. But before that, we need to do some settings that I have already shown in my previous videos. So I will uncheck the floppy option, and I will make hard disk as my primary first boot, and the optical as a second boot order. Let's check in the processor settings. Okay, all good. Storage, network here I will keep it as a internal network. Later, after complete setup, I will change this to the bridge adapter. So and then go to storage, click on empty, and let's select our operating system ISO image. I will select Windows 11. Okay, now we can boot our client machine. Click start. Now our machine is booting up. So press any key, press any key. Okay. So at this stage we need to do the workaround. So to do the workaround, we need to go to the command prompt, and then from there we can open our registry keys. So in order to open the command prompt, we need to press Shift and F10. So let's enter registry editor. REGEDIT is the command. Now we need to go to the path H key local machine, system, setup, and here we need to create a key. We'll create a key as lab config. Now we will create a dword 32 values on the right side. New dword 32 value, and I will first enter as a bypass TPM check and enter the value as 1. So let's cross check once. Bypass TPM check, bypass RAM check, and bypass secure boot check. Guys, this is a case sensitive, so you need to enter exactly the same. Now let's set the value to 1. Now let's create another dword 32 value, and this will be bypass RAM check. Bypass RAM check, and I will keep this value to 1. Now let's create another dword 32 value. Bypass secure boot check, value to 1. Let's quickly cross check once again. Done. After the entry, let's close the registry editor and command prompt. Now we are good to go with our installation. So simply click on next, install now. So after install now, if the registry values are not correct, or if we are not maintaining those registry values, it will throw an error here that that the machine is not compatible to install Windows 11. So in order to bypass that, we are just creating these registry values. So we are good to go now. Accept, next. This is the fresh installation. I will click custom, and I will create a partition, new, apply. Okay. I will select partition 3 to install my operating system. So select and next. Now our operating system installation has begun. We are about to finish our initial installation. Now it's restarting our machine. Okay. I will select the region as the United States. I will keep it default. Click on next. And here next step it will ask us to select the keyboard layout. So I will keep US. Here you can add another layout if you want, but as of now I will skip this one. So continue with limited setup because I don't have any internet to this machine. So I will enter my machine name here, client 01, and I will set the password, confirm the password. Next. Here we need to set three security questions. So randomly I will select any security question and any random answer. Next. Second security question. Next. Third one. Next. Just scroll down to bottom and click on accept. Now this machine is setting our desktop. So we are now logged into our machine. I will just do some quick settings here. This setting will enhance my display options of my virtual machine. So let's install this one. Yes. Next. Next. Install. And then it asks to reboot our machine. Meanwhile, we will just set another setting, drag and drop as a bidirectional, and shade the clipboard as a bidirectional. Okay, reboot now. Yes, finish. Let's log into our machine. Let's check our network adapter settings. ncpa.cpl. Right click, go to properties, and here I will uncheck the IPv6 and go to IPv4, and I will assign the IP address 192.168.100.210. So I'll keep the same subnet, default gateway 192.168.100.1, and I will keep the DNS server as of my domain controller. So my domain controller IP is 192.168.100.205. Okay, okay. Let's now try to join our machine to a domain controller. So let's cross check here once the IP address. This is our domain controller. Let's log into our domain controller. Open the server manager. Click on local server, and here we can see the IP address Ethernet 192.168.100.205. Let's get back to our client machine. Okay, let's ping and check whether it is we are able to ping our domain controller or not. 192.168.100.205. It's not pinging. So earlier I have told like I will be selecting internal adapter while creating the virtual machine. So we need to change the network adapter. So let's check once the IP address has been assigned correctly or not. 192.168.100.210.255. Machine settings, to settings, go to network, select bridge adapter. Okay, done. Now let's ping again our domain controller. It's pinging successfully now. Let's try to join our client machine to a domain controller. Properties. Here is an option for domain or workgroup. Click that option, click on change, and I will enter my computer name and a domain. Lab client 01, and my domain is one techstop.local. Click on OK. It will ask to enter the domain credentials. So let's enter our domain credentials. Administrator and the password. Now it will ask us to reboot our client machine in order to make these effects. Okay, close, restart now. So friends, in order to log in to our client machine, we need a domain user. So we have not seen any creation of a domain user. So if there is no domain user, we will not be able to log in with a domain user credential. So let's go and create a domain user in our domain controller. So go to our domain controller, server manager, tools, Active Directory users and computers. Now if you see in computers, the machine lab client 01 is populating here. That means our machine has already joined to our domain controller. So now let's go and create a user for our client machine. New user, the name I will keep as a Harry and the last name as a Potter and login name as h.potter. Click on next. So here it shows this user is already existing. So let's create with another username. I will keep another user as a Chris, and the last name as mm, Gail. Okay. So user login name will be c.gail. So click on next. So here we need to enter the password and the confirm password for our user. So here there are like four options are available, in which the first option shows the user must change password at next login. So I don't want my user to change the password. So if this is checked, when the user logins for the first time, it will ask him to change the password. So I will uncheck this in my scenario, and this user cannot change password is the user may need to enter the same password that we have given here. So he will not be able to change the password. And the password never expire is like if you have any group policy says the password will expire in every 3 months, then after every 3 months it will populate to the user to change the password. So if I click the password never expires, then it will not ask. So I will keep this one as same, next and finish. So we have created our domain user successfully. So let's go to our client machine and try to log in with Chris Gale user. Okay, so others, now this is showing sign into one text top. This is our domain. So enter username c.gale and enter the password. The domain user's initial desktop setup has been configuring. Now we have successfully logged in with our domain user account. So guys, in today's video we have seen how to set up Windows 11 operating system in VirtualBox and how we can join our client machine to our domain controller. So if you have seen here, when we are configuring the network settings IPv4, we have assigned the IP addresses statically. So in real environment, those in any client machine should get the IP address dynamically. Automatic it should get the IP address. So in our next video, we will see how we can configure the DHCP server role and what is the purpose of DHCP, what are the options available in the DHCP and how the DHCP works and how we can configure to obtain IP address automatically to our client machine. I hope you enjoy this video and please stay tuned for more upcoming videos. Please like and subscribe my channel. Thank you so much friends. Thank you.